What's up? Welcome to SwitchTop. Today we're diving into the hidden gems that somehow slipped under the radar but absolutely deserve your attention. These 30 games are absolute masterpieces that you might have missed, but trust me, they're about to become your new favorites. From mind-bending puzzles to unique gameplay experiences, these titles prove that sometimes the best games aren't always the most famous. Let's uncover some gaming gold. Narita Boy is a digital dream that feels like a lost 80s game brought to life. The story follows a digital protagonist tasked with saving the digital kingdom from the corrupting stallions, exploring themes of memory and identity. The game's visual style is a breathtaking homage to retrowave aesthetics, with stunning pixel art and synthwave soundtrack. Combat blends hack and slash mechanics with digital manipulation abilities, letting you change the environment and fight enemies with unique digital powers. Each screen feels like a living, breathing piece of digital art that tells a story beyond its immediate action. Nightwar is a stunning RPG based on a comic book series, offering a beautiful blend of comic book aesthetics and deep turn-based combat. You control a group of heroes exploring a mysterious, procedurally generated world with turn-based combat that adds layers of strategic depth. The art style is directly inspired by the original comics, creating a visual experience that feels like a living graphic novel. Each character has unique abilities that create complex combat strategies, making every encounter feel like a carefully choreographed battle. Ruined King is a turn-based RPG set in the League of Legends universe, but you don't need to know the original game to enjoy it. The story follows a group of champions from Bilgewater and the Shadow Isles, offering a deep narrative that explores themes of revenge, redemption, and survival. The combat system introduces a unique lane mechanic where abilities can be used in different lanes that affect their timing and power. It's a surprisingly deep RPG that offers something for both League fans and newcomers, with rich storytelling and strategic gameplay that keeps you engaged for hours. TinyKin is a charming 3D platformer where you play as a tiny character controlling even tinier creatures to solve puzzles and explore a giant house. The gameplay combines Pikmin-like creature management with precise platforming and exploration. Each room becomes a massive playground of possibilities, with multiple ways to solve puzzles and collect items. The colorful, whimsical art style creates a sense of wonder and discovery, making every moment feel like a miniature adventure full of creativity and charm. Fight and Rage is a love letter to classic beat-em-up games like Final Fight, offering gorgeous pixel art and multiple playable characters. The gameplay is brutally challenging, requiring precise combo execution and strategic enemy management. Multiple endings and branching paths add replay value to this nostalgic action experience. The tight controls and beautifully animated sprites capture the essence of classic arcade beat-em-ups, while adding modern design sensibilities that make it feel fresh and exciting. Okami HD brings the PlayStation Classic to Switch, telling the Japanese mythological story of Amaterasu, the sun goddess who takes the form of a white wolf. The game's unique watercolor art style remains breathtaking, with gameplay that combines Zelda-like exploration with a unique celestial brush mechanic that lets you manipulate the world by drawing. Every environment feels like a living painting, and the narrative draws deeply from Japanese folklore, creating an experience that's both educational and magical. The HD remaster looks stunning on the Switch, bringing this classic to a new generation of players. Astlibra Revision is a stunning action RPG that blends Japanese and Western game design philosophies. The story follows a mysterious protagonist on an epic journey through time and space, with gameplay that combines precise combat, RPG progression, and surprising narrative twists. The art style shifts between beautiful 2D sprites and more modern 3D rendering, creating a unique visual experience that keeps you constantly surprised. Each moment feels like a carefully crafted adventure that defies expectations. Iconoclasts is a stunning narrative-driven action platformer about a mechanic fighting against an oppressive religious regime. The gameplay combines precise platforming with unique weapon mechanics, allowing you to solve puzzles and fight enemies with creative solutions. The pixel art is stunning, with each environment feeling alive and detailed. The narrative tackles complex themes of rebellion, faith, and individual purpose with remarkable nuance. Every section feels like a carefully designed puzzle that challenges both your skills and your understanding of the game's world. Untitled Goose Game is a comedic stealth game where you play as a mischievous goose causing chaos in a quiet village. The gameplay revolves around completing a checklist of increasingly absurd tasks that inevitably involve annoying humans. The simple art style and classical music create a perfect backdrop for your honking mayhem, making every moment a hilarious playground of destruction. It's a unique concept that turns simple interactions into comedy gold, proving that sometimes the most ridiculous idea can become a brilliant game. Return of the Obra Dinn is possibly the most unique detective game ever created. You play as an insurance investigator trying to determine what happened to the crew of a mysterious ship. Using a magical pocket watch, you can witness moments of crew members' deaths, slowly piecing together the narrative. The 1-bit graphics create a distinctive visual style, while the gameplay revolves around pure deduction and observation. Each solved mystery feels like a genuine intellectual triumph, challenging you to become a true detective and unravel a complex maritime mystery. The Swindle is a steampunk-themed heist game that blends roguelike elements with strategic robbery mechanics. You play as a series of thieves attempting to pull off the ultimate score before a government surveillance system goes online. Each failed attempt means a new thief, with procedurally generated levels ensuring no two playthroughs are alike. The pixelated art style and punishing difficulty create a unique challenge that rewards careful planning and quick reflexes. Every run feels like a new opportunity to master the art of the perfect heist. Code of Princess EX is a unique action RPG that blends beat-em-up mechanics with RPG progression. You play as Princess Solange, who must save her kingdom using magical abilities and combat skills. The gameplay allows you to move between foreground and background during battles, creating a unique combat system that feels like a mix between fighting games and RPGs. The art style is colorful and anime-inspired, with characters that are both ridiculous and endearing. Each character offers a different playstyle, making repeated playthroughs feel fresh and exciting. Tales of Iron is a hand-drawn RPG that tells the story of Reds, a rat prince fighting to reclaim his kingdom from brutal frog invaders. The narrative feels like a dark fairy tale, with brutally challenging combat that requires precise timing and strategy. Each battle feels like a carefully choreographed dance of attack and defense. The hand-drawn art style is reminiscent of medieval illustrations, giving the game a unique visual identity that sets it apart from typical RPG experiences. The narrator's grim commentary adds an extra layer of dark humor to the intense battles. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Monster Boy is a spiritual successor to the Wonder Boy series, offering a beautiful hand-drawn adventure with transformation mechanics. You play as a hero who can transform into multiple animal forms, each with unique abilities that change how you interact with the world. The gameplay combines platforming, puzzle solving, and combat in a way that feels both nostalgic and innovative. Each transformation opens up new ways to explore the colorful, vibrant world, making every discovery feel like a triumph. The attention to detail in each animal form's unique abilities is truly remarkable. Banner of the Maid is a tactical RPG set in an alternate history version of the French Revolution. The game blends historical strategy with fantasy elements, offering a unique take on turn-based combat. Each character feels distinct, with abilities that reflect their historical and fictional backgrounds, creating a deep and engaging strategy experience. The art style captures the period's aesthetic while adding a fantastical twist. Your decisions impact the story and battlefield, making every encounter feel meaningful and strategic.
还在磨蹭什么？快下命令！速战速决，冲啊！
Assault and Sanctuary brings the Souls-like genre to a 2D plane, offering a brutally challenging action RPG with deep customization. The dark, gothic art style creates an oppressive atmosphere where every encounter feels like a potential death. The gameplay combines precise 2D combat with RPG progression, letting you customize your character's abilities and equipment. The world design encourages exploration, with secrets and shortcuts that reward careful players. Each death feels like a learning experience, pushing you to master the game's intricate mechanics.
I still haven't leveled up in this game, so I'm pretty curious as to how that happens. I got a switch there I can't get to. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, it doesn't actually pause the game.
Minit is a revolutionary adventure game where you can only live for 60 seconds at a time. Each run begins with your character dying after a minute, but you retain progress and items, slowly unraveling a mysterious world. The black and white pixel art style creates a unique atmosphere, while the gameplay revolves around solving puzzles and exploring within your strict time limit. What seems like a limitation becomes a brilliant game mechanic that forces creative problem solving and creates moments of hilarious and intense gameplay. Every second counts in this unique adventure. Dredge is a maritime horror game that blends fishing simulator with Lovecraftian cosmic horror. You play as a fisherman exploring a mysterious archipelago, gradually uncovering dark secrets beneath the waves. The gameplay combines resource management and fishing mechanics with an increasingly unsettling narrative. As you explore, you'll upgrade your boat, catch increasingly strange creatures, and unravel a narrative that becomes progressively more twisted. The art style walks a brilliant line between cute and creepy, making each discovery both fascinating and unnerving. Baba Is You is possibly the most innovative puzzle game ever created. The core mechanic is simple, yet revolutionary. The game's rules are literal words you can move and manipulate. Baba Is You means you control Baba. Wall is stop means walls block movement. By rearranging these word blocks, you fundamentally change the game's rules. What begins as a simple puzzle game becomes a mind-bending exploration of logic, language, and game design. Each level is a philosophical challenge that will make you question everything you know about game mechanics. Cynthia Hidden in the Moonshadow is a narrative-driven adventure game that blends folkloric storytelling with mysterious exploration. The gameplay combines puzzle solving with a hauntingly beautiful narrative about identity and transformation. The art style feels like a living illustration, with each scene packed with subtle details and emotional depth. You'll explore a world where reality bends and shifts, uncovering a story that is as much about the journey of self-discovery as it is about the mystery surrounding Cynthia. Every moment is crafted with incredible care, creating an experience that lingers long after you've put down the controller.
Looks like the priests are on the path to the village. I'll be unable to travel unspotted.
Blade Strangers is a fighting game that flew completely under the radar despite bringing together beloved characters from indie darlings like Cave Story, Shovel Knight, and Code of Princess. The story is your standard fighting game tournament setup, but it's the gameplay that makes this special. Unlike most fighters that require complex button combinations, Blade Strangers uses a simplified 4-button system that's incredibly accessible for newcomers while still offering surprising depth for competitive players. The gorgeous hand-drawn sprites animate fluidly, and each character's moveset brilliantly captures their personality from their original games. Whether you're a fighting game veteran or a complete novice, Blade Strangers offers a refreshingly approachable take on the genre while celebrating indie game history. Astray is a mesmerizing puzzle platformer that tells its story through atmosphere rather than dialogue. You control Mo, a tiny blob with surprising abilities, navigating through an abandoned research facility while uncovering a dark narrative about human experimentation. The gameplay revolves around Mo's ability to stick to surfaces, leap between them, and eventually possess other organisms. This possession mechanic creates unique puzzle scenarios where you'll need to strategically take control of different creatures to progress. The pixel art is hauntingly beautiful, with environments that tell stories through visual details alone. The way Mo Astray balances its challenging platforming with its unsettling atmosphere makes for an experience that stays with you long after you finished its relatively short but impactful story. Huntdown is the perfect game for anyone who grew up loving 80s and 90s action movies. Set in a cyberpunk future where criminal gangs rule the streets, you play as one of 3 bounty hunters taking down colorful targets in exchange for cash. The pixel art is some of the best you'll ever see, perfectly capturing that gritty, neon-soaked aesthetic from films like Blade Runner and Escape from New York. The run-and-gun gameplay feels like Metal Slug meets Contra, with tight controls and an arsenal of satisfying weapons. What makes Huntdown special is its incredible attention to detail. Enemies have unique dialogue, environments are packed with references, and the synthwave soundtrack perfectly complements the action. The co-op mode turns this already excellent game into one of the best multiplayer experiences on Switch, letting you and a friend tackle the criminal underworld together. Citizen Sleeper is a narrative RPG that combines dice rolling mechanics with rich storytelling in a space station setting. You play as a sleeper, a digitized human consciousness trapped in a synthetic body, trying to survive while escaping the corporation that owns your digital existence. The gameplay revolves around allocating limited action dice each cycle, day, forcing meaningful choices about whether to work for credits, repair your deteriorating body, or pursue relationships. What makes this game special is how it uses mechanics to reinforce themes of precarity and survival under capitalism. The station is filled with distinct characters with their own storylines that unfold over time, creating a living world where your decisions have tangible consequences. The atmospheric electronic soundtrack and minimalist art style create a contemplative mood that perfectly matches the game's exploration of identity and existence. Mountains, downhill downhill strips mountain biking down to its purest form, creating a zen-like experience unlike anything else on Switch. There's no story beyond you, your bike, and the mountain, and that's perfect. The gameplay focuses on navigating increasingly treacherous trails with precision controls that perfectly capture the feeling of momentum and gravity. What makes this game special is its minimalist approach. There's no music, just the sounds of your tires on different surfaces, the wind, and occasionally your rider's painful crashes. The low poly art style creates beautiful abstracted landscapes that still feel incredibly authentic. The game balances accessibility with depth through multiple objectives for each trail, from simply reaching the bottom to completing challenging time trials or finding hidden paths. Few games capture the meditative flow state that Lonely Mountains Downhill achieves so effortlessly. Unsighted is a top-down action-adventure game with a unique time mechanic that creates genuine emotional stakes. Set in a world where synthetic beings called automatons are hunted after a war with humans, you play as Alma, searching for a way to prevent your friends from running out of anima and turning unsighted, essentially mindless monsters. The gameplay combines fast-paced combat requiring precise timing with Metroidvania-style exploration and puzzle solving. What makes Unsighted remarkable is how every NPC has a visible timer counting down to when they'll turn, forcing impossible choices about who to save with limited resources. The pixel art beautifully renders a dying world with distinct areas, while the combat system offers incredible depth through weapon combinations and crafting. The way Unsighted integrates its time mechanic with emotional storytelling creates a uniquely tense and meaningful experience. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble brings the beloved series back to its glory days while adding meaningful innovations. The premise is simple: guide your monkey in a ball through increasingly complex 3D mazes, but the execution is masterful. The core gameplay maintains the series' physics-based precision platforming, where tilting the world guides your momentum, but adds new abilities like a dash move that creates fresh puzzle possibilities. What makes this entry special is the robust 16-player battle mode, featuring a Banana Rumble Battle Royale and various party games that create chaotic multiplayer fun. The vibrant, colorful worlds pop on the Switch screen, and the game runs at a silky smooth frame rate even in handheld mode. While many wrote this off as just another series revival, it actually represents the best Monkey Ball experience in years, and deserves far more recognition. Eastward is a gorgeous post-apocalyptic action-adventure that feels like playing through a Studio Ghibli film. The story follows John, a silent miner, and Sam, a mysterious white-haired girl with supernatural powers, as they journey across a world where most of humanity lives underground. The gameplay brilliantly switches between controlling John, who fights with a frying pan, and Sam, who uses energy powers, creating unique combat and puzzle scenarios that require coordinating their abilities. What makes Eastward special is its stunning pixel art that creates some of the most detailed and atmospheric environments on Switch, complemented by a beautiful soundtrack. The game's world feels genuinely lived in, with quirky characters and distinct towns, each with their own culture and problems. Eastward's cooking system, mini-games, and environmental storytelling add layers to an already rich experience that deserves a much wider audience. Tunic is a masterpiece of game design that captures the mystery and wonder of classic adventure games without hand-holding. You play as a small fox in a green tunic, no prizes for guessing the inspiration, exploring a mysterious world filled with secrets. The brilliance of Tunic lies in its in-game manual, scattered pages you collect throughout your journey written in an indecipherable language, forcing you to interpret visual cues and experiment. The combat balances accessibility with challenge, featuring dodge rolls, shield blocks, and pattern recognition that feels inspired by Souls games but with its own distinct feel. The isometric perspective and vibrant low-poly art style create a world that feels both nostalgic and fresh. What makes Tunic truly special is how it trusts players to discover things for themselves, creating genuine aha moments when you decipher its many carefully designed puzzles and secrets. Monster Sanctuary is the perfect game for anyone who's ever thought, I wish Pokemon had more depth and Metroidvania exploration. You play as a monster keeper exploring an interconnected world, collecting and battling with monsters that also help you navigate environmental obstacles. The combat system is surprisingly strategic, featuring 3 versus 3 team battles with combo systems, skill trees, and equipment that allow for incredible team customization. What makes Monster Sanctuary special is how each monster feels viable throughout the entire game thanks to the deep progression system. Your starter can remain relevant all the way to the final boss with proper investment. The pixel art creates charming monsters and diverse biomes, while the exploration perfectly gates progression behind monster abilities that double as traversal tools. And there you have it, the top 30 most underrated games on Nintendo Switch that deserve way more attention. Have you played any of these hidden gems? Which one looks most interesting to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this countdown, smash that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Until next time, keep expanding your gaming horizons.